Welcome to What's Brewing. Yes, formerly known as the Morning Brew. I'm really glad that I listened to the comments and I saw some good ideas. This works out perfectly. The name doesn't matter, guys. The show goes on. The name doesn't matter. It's What's Brewing. And the good thing about this is it's 6 p.m. here in LA. I can do this anytime. Dear MOWRY and ex-husband Cory Hardrick awkwardly hug on carpet. And so we're talking about the mascot of all women leaving relationships because they've graduated. This was an awkward situation. But I want to focus on something I saw in reaction to this hug. Let's check out this hug and you guys can see what's going on here. I mean, that was awkward. That was awkward as hell. Let's do that one more time. It's not looking good, man. What'd you guys think of that? Seeing that hug, I'm almost curious to wonder what he thinks exactly about her decision to leave, divorce, and break up their family. That hug let me know that there's some disagreements there in things she said and how she's moving out here. That's what I got. Gentlemen, you gotta avoid these chicks who think like this at all costs. This is not gossip. This is real life. This is not a gossip page here. Men's lives are being ruined. And you're just seeing a man whose life was affected by dealing with a chick who views divorce as a graduation. Graduations are celebrations. That is crazy. Oh, man, I need a second. I'm seeing a lot of people asking me about this mug, by the way. They'll be back soon. Available for purchase for you guys. I just gotta get back to getting them on there. All right. So what blew me away about this specific video was not the video itself. I didn't care. I went straight to the comments because I knew there were about to be some wild justifications and support on this chick who ruined her marriage and is back out here in the streets complaining, by the way. So, of course, you have the regular people here saying things like, it's so crazy how you go from lovers to strangers. Love is a wild thing. Somebody else here says, one day they're folding you like a pretzel. The next, they're giving you the church hugs. But it's your fault. It's her fault, right? Here's somebody else who says he wanted to respect her boundaries and space, and he let her lead the interaction. I like him. A lot of people like Cory. These women are eyeing him down like a new, fresh piece of meat in the market. I know he's dating. I know he's sitting down thinking to himself, whoa, this isn't so bad. We know Tia isn't having a good time because she's telling us she's not in the past videos that she's posted. Here's what's crazy about this. The craziest comment I saw was this one that says, I want y'all to pick a man up from the bus stop, pay his bills for the next 2 decades, then see how much you want to hug him after y'all divorce. That comment got a lot of likes. I'm surprised by that, but I'm not. But I am, but I'm not. Because the whole time I'm thinking to myself, well, what did she expect? At the time she ran into him, if she made more money than him, if she was ahead of him in her career, and you married this man knowing that he couldn't pay the bills that you were paying at the time, what are you saying? Are you saying that he deserved this? Because, guys, don't forget that they were vows. There were vows of to death do us part. No matter what, I'm going to stick around. And now there's an awkward hug here on the carpet. at the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards. And so when I read that, I think to myself, this should speak volumes about seriously dating for long term, especially leading to marriage, a modern woman. But not only that, a woman who earns more than you. Because a lot of chicks here responded back to that as, yeah, that's a good reason to despise a man. You've been paying the bills. Well, you knew that when you met him. No one told you to go fall in love with the guy at the bus stop. Another comment here says she divorced him for no reason. He was a good man and fine, shaking my head. Oh, guys, a lot of responses. Yeah. No, this comment right here obviously got a lot of people's attention. Somebody else here says she looked uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable. Now I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, there's a lot there, man. I think there's a lot that Cory wants to say about this situation, but like most men, he's thinking about, okay, well, I don't want to shame the mother of my children. And I know how this could impact the family in the long run. And I don't want to get on there and embarrass all of us on social media. All right. So this woman who said, I want y'all to pick a man up from the bus stop, pay his bills for the next 2 decades, then see how much you want to hug him after y'all divorce. All right. So somebody responded back to her and said, damn, that's how they met? With the question marks. Somebody else here says, you act like he wasn't working. Hell, she ain't been doing much. It's not about whether he was working or not, but you're not going to go as a Hollywood star with bills that a guy who's not making millions. You're not going to go find a guy who's not making millions of dollars and expect him to foot the bill for that type of experience. She knew what she was getting herself into. That is not a justification for a divorce or him being treated poorly. Here's somebody else who says he wasn't trying to hug her. You're speaking for her, and he the one that was just trying to shake hands. Oh, he was going in for the handshake. Oh, shit. Oh, he was. Okay. Yeah. No, he. Oh, yeah. No, he was going in for the handshake. He didn't want to hug her. Somebody else responded back and says exactly. Yeah, I think what you see here is a woman trying to act like everything's okay. I made the right decision, and she's going to try and justify that. But I bet you, man, if somebody was to sit down with Cory Hardrick and say, yo, number one, what is your own opinion about your wife deciding to break your marriage and divorce you? That's number one. Number two, what advice would you give to men out here who are interested in marriage? What advice would you give them about what marriage is today, the pitfalls to look out for? Would he get married if he had a second chance to go back in time? Would he get married? I don't know. To her, he'd probably say, hell no.
Drink the coffee. It'll make you feel better.
Or maybe he wouldn't because now he has children. I think that would be a valuable interview. I don't know how honest he could be there, but I don't think we would get the same response that she gives. And if you're watching this, you may be saying, bro, I don't even want to deal with this. I'm never going to get married. Or maybe you're saying, what type of a woman thinks divorce is graduation and thinks happiness is the ultimate goal in marriage? Let me try to avoid that. Whatever conclusion you may come to, I think it's good to pay attention to a lot of these things. Moving on, Katt Williams. Katt Williams did not lie. Katt Williams has proved over and over again that he did not lie. Katt Williams runs a 40-yard dash in 4.97 seconds. He said he could do this in that interview with Shannon Sharpe, where he said, listen, I'm almost 100 years old. The man's 53 or 52, one of those numbers. I don't think people understand that at 53 years old, this is worth all the bragging rights. I would brag too if I was 53 and was able to run 40-yard dash in 4.97 seconds. A lot of people half his age cannot do this. Now, I've seen different ages. People are throwing out 52. Some people are saying 53. Close enough. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people had to say. This commenter says, Katt will tell you a joke, but will never tell you a lie. Here's another comment that says, he's 5'5" and 52 years old. That's damn good. Another commenter here says, the slowest, fastest runner I ever seen. He gets down, he don't play. Here's another comment that says, not going to lie, I was starting to think he actually read them books. Oh, I'm starting to think he actually read them books. I'll say this when it comes to, how many books did he say he read? Let's see if Miss Coffee knows who Katt Williams is. Let's go. Let's ask. Miss Coffee, how many books did Katt Williams say he read?
Katt Williams, the comedian, has famously claimed to have read over 15,000 books. However, it's worth noting that this claim has been met with skepticism as there's no concrete evidence to support it.
Now, Miss Coffee, why are you taking the skeptic's side? Why are you taking the haters' sides on this?
I apologize if my response came across as biased. My intention is to provide balanced and factual information.
Right.
While Katt Williams has claimed to have read over 15,000 books, it's essential to acknowledge that without concrete evidence, some people may be skeptical of such a statement. However, I do not hold a stance on whether his claim is accurate or not.
Okay.
If you have any other questions or need clarification, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. You know, Miss Coffee, ever since I did that one video, I can't remember the last one. You've been acting up ever since. We might need to update you. We might need to give you a systems update. You might need to pour some coffee in your hard drive. How would you like that? Anyways, now she's ignoring me. All right, guys. So 15,000 books is insane. I mean, there's also this aspect too. There's the aspect of what it sounded like to me. Katt Williams said he was raised up in a house that was very religious. I was sort of raised in a strict household as well. Now, I would never read that many books because I'm not a huge fan of reading. I like audiobooks. I like reading stuff that I can rarely find a book that really captures my attention. It's difficult. But I can see how if you do enjoy reading, and your parents are really strict and they think like, the outside world is evil and you're raised in a really religious home, etc., you may find an escape in reading books. Now, to Katt Williams' credit, let's just be honest, the man has told a lot of truth. A lot of what he said has proven to be very, very true. So why doubt him now? Why doubt him now? Let's check out more comments here. Somebody else here says, not one thing Katt said in that interview has been proven a lie. Come on. Here's somebody else who says, if he running a 4.97 and 52, which is crazy impressive to do, at least not being a former athlete, he definitely ran a 4.3 in his younger years. You know, one thing I notice, when you become popular, when people notice you, and Katt Williams is at this place now where he's resurfacing in the media light for that viral interview, which will go down in history, by the way. People start to form very strong opinions of you. They will look for reasons to discredit you. You see that with even Shannon Sharp now as he becomes more popular, with rumors of him being gay, etc. It just comes with the territory. But I'm shocked at the amount of people who think he's not only a liar, but the amount of people who think he's not funny. Come on. There have been some real classics from Katt Williams. What do you guys think of this video? Let's keep on going here. Guys, whenever the conversation comes up of, is it okay for older men to date young women? When I say young, I mean women in their 20s. Because we know a lot of chicks out here throw a huge fit about this. And it's not the young 20-year-olds because they're not complaining. It's usually the 30-plus-year-olds, 35, wondering why you're chasing the younger women. You should be trying to take me out on a date. You should be trying to put a ring on my finger. But whenever you see them complain about that exact same issue, make sure you reference them to Draya Michelle. This post reads, Draya Michelle reveals she's pregnant with a baby girl. Now, there was speculation before this, and people tried to deny that she was pregnant. So the father of this child is none other than 21-year-old Jalen Green. I'm hearing 21, 22. The man's young. If this situation was reversed, women would be blasting the elderly man involved in the situation all over social media. We know the truth. I forget how old Draya Michelle is. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Let's see real quick. Miss Coffee, how old is Draya Michelle?
As of my last update in January 2022, Draya Michelle, an American actress, model, and fashion designer, was born on January 23, 1985. You may need to verify this information as her age may have changed since then.
Well, let's just assume it's right. If she was born then, how old would she be now?
If Draya Michelle was born on January 23, 1985, and today is March 8, 2024, she would be 39 years old.
Okay, yeah, she's 39. I've seen it before. Okay, so she's 39, NBA player is 21. Women would have a fit. You know they would have a fit. They would have a fit on Twitter. They'll be talking about this everywhere. They'll be calling her a predator and all types of things. And the Shade Room definitely wouldn't be taking the situation that lightly. But they're posting her here with no complaints. Let's check out what people have to say in the comment section. This first comment says, I'm 30 and I would scream if a 22-year-old tried to talk to me. Where is your mama, little boy? So, first comment doesn't even attack Draya like they would attack you if you ever try to talk to a legal, younger, 20-something-year-old. They'll be saying all type of disgusting stuff here in the comment section. Let's see if that's what we see. But they're like, ew, gross. Why would he try to talk to her? And I would tell him, where's your mama? Here's another comment that says, let's not pretend that these grown men are victims. His motives are just as impure as hers. Look, guys. Double standards. Look, somehow managed to make sure that, so it's the same thing as you expect. Here's somebody else who says, Robert De Niro had a baby last month and y'all said congratulations. Another comment here says, having a baby by a 21-year-old when your son is 21 is insane. Yep, that's the other thing. She's got a son who I believe might be even older than the woman, Jalen Green. Let me see here. Somebody's going to say something in the comments. Here. He's 22. So her son is older than the man who she's currently pregnant by. I don't see anybody here calling her a predator on the Shade Room. This is the hub of women who lack accountability online. Somebody else here says, imagine your baby daddy. No, this guy says, imagine your daddy and brother being the same age. We've got another comment here. Maybe this chick's going to call it out. She says, nah, this ain't it. It's disgusting. And I hope us women give her the same energy we gave Marcus Houston. Yep, they got on Marcus's butt when he posted his wife, his legal wife. And that's not what we see here. Goes on to say, if the tables were turned and it was a 21-year-old woman, we would drag that man from D.C. to California in these comments, but they're not doing it. She says, I have 4 boys, so this really irks my soul. But she wanted, in quotations, the come up. But as the old folks say, all money ain't good money. Still don't see anybody calling her a predator. Another commenter says, let a man be 39 and his woman would be 22. Y'all would be in his comments dragging him. Now I'm actually looking for the women calling Draya a predator. Here you go. This man literally is going to have a 10-year-old child and a 50-year-old. Here we go. Here's somebody else who says, is she a creep and a groomer? Or are we going to not keep the same energy because she's a woman? I think you all are not going to keep the same energy because she's a woman. Guys.
I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee.
Right.
I don't drink coffee.
They do not live in reality. They live in a world. Now I'm talking about modern women. They live in a world where they will only believe it if it's advantageous to them. If the situation makes them look bad, they're not going to take accountability, and they will not do it here. I don't see anybody talking about any type of predator. I don't see anything in here. Let's not pretend that these grown men are victims. His motives, we already read that. The delusion is evident. Y'all calling this 22-year-old man that plays in the NBA making $9 million a year a child. You guys know I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's not grown enough to make his own decision. I'm saying they're full of shit. I'll say it again. The next time you hear a chick complaining about older men dating younger women, Draya Michelle is your response. Tell him until all women agree that she's a predator, then that whole narrative is all bullshit. We already know it is. But guys, just clear example here of why women don't drink coffee. All right, so moving on. We've got to talk about this Francis Ngannou fight, man. Francis Ngannou. I was looking forward to this fight a lot. Mainly because the last time we saw Francis fight, he definitely got robbed. Boxing as a sport was on the line. A lot of people were kind of starting to question the validity of a lot of these fights. I mean, we see someone like Mike Tyson who's about to fight Jake Paul. And it's become this sport where people are wondering, is everything a skit? Is this thing rigged? Are they just trying to make as much money as possible and they don't care about the actual integrity of the sport? Because that's what it looked like when Francis won that fight, which I still believe he won that fight, with Tyson Fury. Knocked down a champion. Everybody was surprised. The fight wasn't that well advertised because people didn't think it was going to go that way. And this fight with Anthony Joshua, I was reminded that Francis is new to boxing. First of all respect to both of the fighters. But my gosh, that shit went by so quick. You know the moment that I knew that this fight might not go as expected? If you watch the last interview, I think it was one of the last interviews that Francis had, they asked him what he thought about the fight. He said something there about, I don't think this fight that I'm going to have is going to be like a pivotal moment in my career. And I thought to myself, I said, I don't know about that. I think as somebody who's new to the sport of boxing, every fight and every fight that will come in the future will all be pivotal points in his career. He might have used a different word. Maybe he didn't say pivotal. Regardless, I am still a huge fan. And it was unexpected, man. I'm still at a loss of words. I just watched the shit not too long ago. I had to drink that coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
On the topic of Anthony Joshua, real quick, I do want to commend him for the sportsmanship he showed in the fight. He said a lot of good things to him after that fight. He said, number one, do not leave boxing. He said, you are an inspiration. You know why I know most people have respect for Francis? If you hear his story, if you watch the documentary, there are a bunch of YouTube documentaries on Francis's journey and how he actually got into boxing here in the States. It's an inspirational story for anybody. And I really like that he showed respect. He told him to keep on boxing. He told him not to leave. And it was good to see that type of sportsmanship. When you try new things, you have to be prepared to fail. I think that's what we have to learn from this. And you're going to fail. I personally still see really good things come in the future for Francis's boxing career. Shout out to both his fighters. And Francis Ngannou, keep your head up, brother. We still support you. Listen, guys, that's it. As always, I appreciate you for checking out another episode of What's Brewing. And I'm curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I think we're finally getting somewhere with this segment of the Coffee Pod, what it will look like going forward. Yeah, I like where it's at right now. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. All right, till next time. I'm out. Peace.